Hello students, welcome to Vishnu Academy. We know that a prelims is difficult. We know that failing prelims is a very problematic thing for us. But we also know that every year there will be around 13,000 people who will be crossing that prelims border and who will be writing the mains. For sure, everyone in this UPSC circle will be wanting to write that mains. So, from Vishnu Academy, as a genuine effort, we want all of you to clear prelims. For that, we are starting with a new program called VIJAYEBHAVA Thematic Coverage of Topics. See, as part of this VIJAYEBHAVA Thematic Coverage of Topics, we want you to make prelims ready. And as part of this making you prelims ready, we will be taking one theme, one PYQ theme, which is important for the exam. And we will be covering it holistically in these YouTube videos. So this will be continuing as a series. You can make use out of it, right? This will be a completely free thing on the YouTube. Okay. Now, how this series will be running is that, say for example, we will be taking one theme. For example, today's theme is minimum support price. See, MSP as a topic is very much important for our exam. If you see, if every year you will be getting 5 to 6 questions from agriculture part, and sometimes it even goes up to 8 to 10. And in it, minimum support price is one of the most important part, and many students will be confusing over it. So as part of a thematic discussion with respect to that MSP, I will be covering the complete details what you need to know with respect to that topic, and also I will be showing you the current relevance of the topic, any current event happened related to that theme, and also the PYQs related to that. In this, we can cover maximum number of themes until our exam. Okay, so without any delay, we will start our discussion on the most important theme called MSP. Once again, I am stressing MSP, minimum support price, as a theme. In the last 5 years, it has been asked 2 times in prelims, and obviously it is one of the most expected topic for 2026 prelims also. So I am starting with this topic only. First thing, I hope these videos should be very much useful to you, and all the best for your exam. Okay, I am starting with the topic. First, MSP. What is meant by MSP, or minimum support price? See, MSP means, minimum support price means the price that government of India will be paying to the farmer for growing a certain type of crop. That means, since farmer is putting lot of effort, he is spending some amount of money in growing a particular crop. Government, while buying that crop, it will be giving this amount. Now, this is the bare minimum amount that the government will be giving. It can even announce a price that is more than this. But in general, this is the bare minimum price. Now, one thing is sure, that government cannot buy each and every crop from the farmer. So, but government will be announcing this MSP. Why? Because this will also be acting as an benchmark for the private traders in the country. That means, if a farmer goes and sells his produce to any private trader, he can show that this is the benchmark set by the government. So, please give me a price which is more than this, or else at least this. So, this also acts as minimum guarantee for the farmer. Okay, so this is all about MSP. So simply I can say that MSP is the rate that a farmer will be getting for his all the efforts in growing a crop. Okay, for example, if I have to say, as per this Kharif marketing season 2025-26, MSP of paddy has been fixed at 2,369. That means, if government has to buy paddy from the farmer, it will be giving 2,369 rupees. If in the private market, if the person gets a better price, he will be selling there. Otherwise, he can sell to the government also. He or she can sell to the government also. This is the major agenda behind the MSP, minimum support price, as the name itself says that. Now, how this 2369 is arrived, who will be deciding all these things? we will be looking at the things now. See, yeah, as I mentioned, MSP is the minimum price for the crop government will be giving for the farmer. Now, first question, while deciding the MSP, what are the parameters government is considering and who will be making that price? So, answer for that is that there is a body called Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices under Ministry of Agriculture. Remember, Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices under Ministry of Agriculture. This takes the duty of recommending the minimum support prices for different crops. Remember, this is only a recommendatory body. Its recommendations are not binding on the government of India. It will be doing all the analysis of different crops. It will be analyzing the cost of production. It will be recommending the prices to the government. Okay. Now, based on the recommendations of the CACP, that is Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices, Government of India, that is under Government of India, you might have heard about different cabinet committees. There is a specific cabinet committee called Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. This Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs will be finalizing the MSP values and it will be approving the MSP values. That means the final authority about deciding the MSP value is none other than Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. That means if I am strongly saying paddy's MSP is 2369, it is finalized by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. Okay, I hope it is clear now. Who will be finalizing? After finalizing, what will be happening? If government is fixated its mind to procure the crops from the farmers at that MSP value, government will be giving the role of procuring the crops to a body called Food Corporation of India. This Food Corporation of India, along with designated state government agencies, will be procuring the crops from the farmers, produce from the farmers, paying this minimum support price to them. Okay, so in this, there is first, it is being recommended by CACP. Remember this clearly, recommendation by CACP, finally announced by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, and procurement of crops will be done by Food Corporation of India plus state agencies. Okay, now some more things you need to know in detail with respect to MSP is that there is no statutory backing or legal backing for this idea called minimum support price. That means even if Government of India is not procuring the produce from the farmers, no one is there to question. Farmers cannot go to the court because there is no backing legislation. It is just an executive practice in our country since 1965. Okay, so there is no statutory backing. Government is not legally bound to procure the produce. Okay, yeah, these are the theoretical things you need to know. Now, if I have to further dive deeper into the topic of MSP, we will be knowing some more details. First thing, as I mentioned, it will be recommended by CACP. If a question has to come regarding CACP, you need to know that it will be recommending the price. Its recommendations are not binding on the government. And one more thing is that it is an attached office under Ministry of Agriculture formed in 1965 as a statutory body. Okay, so it is an attached office under Ministry of Agriculture. Now, this attached office will be consisting of 4 members. One is the chairman. Second is a member secretary, and 2 more members will be there. Those are non-official members. So, one is the chairman, 2 is the member secretary, he is an official, generally an IAS officer. Remaining 2 will be from non-official members. Generally, these 2 members will be coming from the farming community. Those 2 people will be acting as representatives of the entire farming community of the country. So, to put forward the opinion of the farmers in front of the government. So, CACP consists of 4 members. Okay. Now, how this CACP has been formed. Post Green Revolution, there is increase in the production of our country, but there is no procurement from the farmers. If there is a supply, but no one is there to take that, it will be a problematic thing. So what government had done? Government had formed a committee called Agricultural Prices Commission. So what government had told? See, this Agricultural Prices Commission, you have the duty to fix the prices, and we will be procuring the produce which has been made from this Green Revolution. Okay, now with later on what had happened, the name of this Agricultural Prices Commission itself changed to Commission for Agricultural Costs and Prices. So the thing you need to remember is that the precursor of this CACP is nothing but Agricultural Prices Commission. Okay, the earlier name of CACP is Agricultural Prices Commission. Okay, now we had seen how this MSP is coming. Now, what all the crops will be under this MSP? This is also very much important. So, as part of this MSP, 23 crops will be announced prices of MSP. Now, in this 23 crops, we can call it as 22 plus 1. Now, for 22 crops, MSP will be announced, and for one more crop, that is sugarcane, fair and remunerative price will be announced. Don't get confused out of it. The name of MSP for a specific crop called sugarcane is fair and remunerative price. No other difference. It will be also recommended by CACP. It will also be announced by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs only. Okay. So essentially, CACP will be recommending MSP for 23 crops. Okay, now in this 23 crops, you need to know specific details. Remember, it is very much important. You need to know what all the crops will be mentioned in it and all. The reason is that, for example, if you take the question of 2023 prelims, they had asked whether Niger seed will be having MSP or not. Right? It will be having. So, you need to know the names of all the 23 crops. Okay. Now, specifically, it will be easier for us to remember if there will be some brackets or some divisions among these 23 crops. Now, first division is that as part of this MSP, 7 cereals will be announced as in this MSP. Now, what are these 7 cereals? Paddy, wheat, maize, bajra, jowar, ragi and barley. Now, these 7 cereals will be having MSP announcement. Now, cereals are nothing but food grains which will be coming from grasses. For example, our paddy, from paddy we will be getting our rice grains. Right. Similarly, MSP will also be announced for 5 pulses. Pulses are nothing but which will be coming from leguminous plants. So, to say are tur dal, urad dal, chana dal, moong dal and masoor dal. MSP will also be announced for 7 oil seeds. Now, oil seeds are nothing but those seeds which will be giving us oil after crushing. So, the 7 seeds are mustard seed, groundnut seed, soybean seed, sunflower seed, sesame, safflower and Niger seed. Okay, question has been asked from here. And if a question comes whether MSP will not be given for any commercial crops, this is wrong, because MSP will also be announced for 4 commercial crops, that is cotton, sugarcane, copra and raw jute. In this manner, 7 plus 5, 12, 12 plus 7, 19, 19 plus 4, 23. For 23 crops, MSP will be announced. Okay, now along with this classification, you need to know one more classification, because this also has been asked earlier in the exam and it will be very much useful for our agriculture part also. One more classification is that in this 23 crops, how many crops will be announced, how many crops are from Kharif crops and how many are from Rabi crops. So, these 14 are Kharif crops. Say paddy, jowar, bajra, maize, ragi, tur, moong, urad, groundnut, soybean, sunflower, sesame, Niger and cotton. Okay, So these 14 are kharif crops. For example, earlier they had asked, they had taken a crop and they had asked whether this is grown in the country as a kharif crop. So for that also this is very much important. These 6 crops are grown as rabi crops: wheat, barley, gram, masoor, safflower, rapeseed. So ideally what you need to know is that among the MSP crops, 14 crops are for kharif season, 6 crops are for rabi season. Okay, that is the thing you need to know. And there is one more catch here. As I mentioned, MSP will be announced for only 23 crops. But if you look at the final document from the Government of India, there will be MSP for 25 crops, not 23 crops. The reason is that there are 2 more crops called thoria and dehusked coconut. The MSP of thoria is fixed based on the MSP of mustard. The MSP of dehusked coconut is fixed based on MSP of copra. So in the final document, there will be MSP of 25 crops. Don't get confused. Government will be announcing MSP for only 23 crops. But based on the prices of 2 different crops, 2 more crops will be announced. For example, thoria's MSP is based on mustard MSP. Dehusked coconut MSP is based on copra's MSP. Okay, in this manner, in the final document, 25 crops MSP will be there. Okay. Now, yeah, all this is fine. I hope it is clear until now. One thing you need to remember is that what we had discussed, who will be announcing, for what all crops will be announcing. Now, in my earlier part of discussion, I had mentioned paddy's MSP is currently 2,369. Now, how this value of 2,369 has been arrived? What are the factors which will be considered by CACP in deciding this 2,369? You need to know that. This also you need to know that in detail. The first major factor in considering this is cost of production. How much cost is being incurred by the farmer in producing a crop? Obviously, now that will be the major concern of CACP. Along with that, we will be seeing how it will be arriving in deciding this cost of production. Along with cost of production, it will be considering other factors also while giving a MSP value for a crop. Major value is this cost of production. Along with that, it will be deciding MSP based on factors like supply and demand situation for the country for that specific crop. That means how many people are demanding paddy, how many tons of paddy is being supplied, these type of factors. What is the price of that paddy in the open market in the country and in other countries also. If a person is growing a paddy, what will be his or her opportunity cost? What will be his benefit if he will be growing other crops? So parity will be also mentioned. If the cost of paddy is higher, what will be the impact on inflation for the consumers? What will be the impact on the environment, that is soil and water uses? Right? And also, what will be the impact of that MSP price on other agriculture and non-agricultural sectors? Because these act as raw materials for different products in the country, food processing and all. So, these are the major 7 factors being considered by CACP in deciding the MSP value. Okay. Now, I had mentioned earlier that cost of production will be the main thing. Now, in deciding this cost of production, you need to know 3 different factors. That is A2, FL and C2. This will also be very much important. See, this is a probable question for this year. That's why I am taking this in very much detail. Now, A2, FL and C2, what are these? Remember, in deciding the cost of production, these are the factors. Now, first, what is A2? In this calculation of A2, CACP will be calculating all the costs incurred by the farmer for inputs. For example, if I want to grow paddy, What is the cost I had spent on the seeds of paddy, fertilizers, pesticides, leased in land, machinery and fuel? What is the total of the cost I had incurred on all these inputs? That will be counted. Next, second, FL, family labor. That means I might have used some family labor in the production of the crop. So the value of the family labor will also be there here. And further, one more type of this classification is nothing but C2. This is a comprehensive cost. Now, along with this A2 plus FL, there is another thing called C2. Now, what is this C2? This is A2 plus FL plus one additional component. Now, what is this additional component? We didn't consider the cost of the rent of the land anywhere. It might be a case that farmer might have taken the land for rent. So there will be additional cost of that also, right? So what we will be doing in this calculation of C2 along with this A2 plus FL, the imputed rental value of own land will also be added. Okay. So ideally there are A2, FL and C2. Now CACP will be announcing the cost. CACP will be announcing the cost of MSP based on A2 plus FL. It won't be considering C2. Remember it. This is a friction point between the farmers. Now government will be generally announcing 1.5 times of A2 plus FL as the MSP. For example, since obviously cost of production, if the farmer gets only cost of production, it is of no use for the farmer. He should have some profit. So for example, if A2 plus FL is around 1000 rupees, government will be multiplying that into 1.5. So 1500. 500 will be the profit for the farmer. In this format, A2 plus FL for all the 23 crops will be identified and final MSP values will be declared. Okay. Now, the thing is that farmer associations in the country are demanding the government to announce MSP based on 1.5 times of C2 and not on A2 plus FL. So, government is planning to move to this, but as of now, it had not happened. Now, there is a committee called MS Swaminathan Commission. It has been formed in 2005. This MS Swaminathan Commission clearly told the government to announce MSP value as 1.5 times of C2 and not A2 plus FL. So, this committee is also called as National Commission for Farmers. Okay. Question can also be framed in this. So, these are the major factual details, conceptual details you need to know with respect to MSP. Now, what is the importance of MSP? If you have to ask some type of analytical questions here, why MSP is needed? The reason is that, as I mentioned in the early part of my discussion, it will be giving fixed remuneration to the farmer. Farmer won't be having any hesitation to grow a crop. So, with this, production in the country will be increased. Next, informed decision making. The reason is that MSP of a specific crop will be announced just before the sowing season, be it Kharif season or Rabi season. Now, farmers based on the MSP values can decide what crop they should grow, what crop they should not grow. So, informed decision making will be happening. And further, with this MSP, diversification of crops will also be possible. How? See, India faces the problem of monoculture. Rice and wheat are being grown more. Now, if a government is announcing MSP for a specific crop, say government wants to increase the production of ragi, it can increase the MSP value of ragi. Now, what farmers will be doing, since there is a chance of more income if he or she will be growing ragi, he will be shifting towards ragi. So, in this format, government can tune these MSP values and lead to diversification of crops. These MSP values also acts as benchmarks for the private buyers. Farmers can demand to give more than this MSP. And lastly, income of the farmers will also be increased. That is nothing but their purchasing power will be increasing. So for sure, all these are benefits out of MSP. But there is problem here. Problem is that MSP will be, even though MSP is being announced for 23 crops, but since this is not statutory, no legal backing, government is in no situation, no need to procure all this due to financial conditions or any other conditions. And in these 23 crops also, open-ended procurement, that is mandatory procurement, is there only for 2 crops, that is rice and wheat, paddy and wheat. That means government will be procuring whatever the amount of produce farmers will be producing for rice and wheat, but there is no mandatory procurement or open-ended procurement from the farmers with respect to other crops. Okay, this is the first challenge. So there is no guarantee for other 21 crops. Next, as per Shanta Kumar committee, which has been formed to look into reforms in food supply, PDS and MSP, it had identified that the utility of MSP is being taken by only 6% of the farmers in the country. Okay, only 6% of the farmers in the country, mainly from the northwestern region, Punjab, Haryana and all. Southern states or eastern states are unable to take the utility of MSP. So this must be corrected. Also, as we had mentioned earlier, since only rice and wheat have open-ended procurement, there is a dominance of rice and wheat in our country. This is leading to further problem of malnutrition and hidden hunger. There is less intake of pulses, millets and all. Okay. So these are the things you need to know with respect to MSP as a concept. Now, if I have to add some current things with respect to this MSP, in the Kharif marketing season, the MSP of Niger seed, ragi and sesamum have been increased. Recently, in October, in the Rabi marketing season, that is winter season, government had increased the MSP of Masoor by 300 per quintal. So what it will be happening? Since MSP of this is increased, farmers will be having more focus on these crops. So production of these crops can also be increased. Okay, so in this format, MSP will be announced before the sowing season. Okay, right? So these are the complete details with respect to topic called MSP. For sure, if a question have to come from MSP, these are the things. So you can consider this handout as one-stop solution. So in this format, we will be covering each and every theme in the exam, and you will be getting the handout attached in this video in the comment section or in the description. Okay. Now, in this handout itself, I had also attached the past previous year questions with respect to MSP. So, please have a look into them. And further, one more small announcement is that how we had covered the topic called MSP in a detailed manner, in an exam-oriented manner. Similarly, we will be covering all the topics, including test series and mentorship, in a program called VIJAYEBHAVA Prelims Ready program. This is a paid program from us. This YouTube series will be continuing as a free series, but in a further organized manner. Each and every subject, each and every syllabus keyword will be covered in our program called VIJAYEBHAVA Prelims Ready program. In this, you will be getting the classes, you will be getting test series for practice, daily chapter tests, you will be having sectional test, full and test, and you will be having classes for elimination techniques, educated guesses, right? So, how I had covered MSP, similarly, complete syllabus would be covered as part of this VIJAYEBHAVA program. Okay, I hope you had liked this video. If you have any doubts regarding the topic and all, you can ask in the comment section. We will be trying to clear your doubts. Thank you.